Oye, Pedro, ¿tú has visto a José?
¿A José? ¿No? ¿Por qué?
Mira, cuando te cruce negro prieto lo voy a ascender, ¿oíste?
Outstanding. I want to thank each and every one of you for getting on this call. And I'm probably the most excited person on this call in regards to what is taking place in our company at this time in my life. Just really what we're doing to reposition and launch Mexico is going to be probably the greatest thing I have experienced in over 20 years of being in a company that has completely changed my life and the entire family tree of my entire life. But it's not my floor. I actually have asked one of my closest friends in the business, somebody who I have one of the greatest respects for. When you can have somebody who you're blessed to have fall in your organization, be on your team, and at the same time be elevated up to the expansion of Mexico and South America, all of Latin America. And then after, repositioning the company, still want to drive multiple streams of income through the company as a regional vice president and get on a call with you, knowing that he's sought after of one of only 3 people worldwide for what is about to be the greatest shift of wealth and the greatest bonanza financially. With all the Latinos, it's going to be amazing. And I begged him for about 15 to 20 plus minutes of his time, and he graciously granted it. And it just really goes to show the humility. He is an amazing family man. He is an amazing friend. He is one of the most extraordinary leaders and one of the most giving people I know on the planet, no matter where we are, where I've been, how long we've been in the business. I mean, I've known him for years, and he has always been the most loving, supportive, and giving of his time freely, unconditionally. So I cannot have asked anybody greater to get on this call to actually speak to you about what is about to happen south of the border. And so with that being said, I want to turn it over to none other than one of my closest and best friends, Mr. Lobato. Are you there, sir?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to thank Mr. Byron Nelson for the invitation. I'm excited to share with you guys a little bit of an insights of what's going on. But I want to tell you that in this business, there are really truly in the industry, there are levels of professionals and levels of people that are really just know how to do this business. And you guys are so fortunate because we all consider Mr. Byron Nelson more than a doctor, more than a specialist. He is the teacher of network marketing, and he's a millionaire's mentor. He's just an amazing, amazing guy. Every time, I remember the first time I went to listen to Mr. Byron Nelson, I was like open mouth. I mean, my mouth just couldn't close from his command of the language and the command of the understanding of this business. And I enjoyed thoroughly anytime we get a chance to listen to him in the leadership trainings in the stage. And I know that he's very close to senior vice president. And I cannot wait to be part of that day. I know it's going to be a history being made. So with that said, I want to take just a few minutes to share with you guys some of the reasons why you should all be excited beyond belief to what's about to happen in your businesses if you do the right things. If we take intelligent action and we literally follow the advice of the leadership that you guys have in place. We all come back from San Jose. And we cannot all agree. We all can agree that the level of success that is possible in ACN, it's unbelievable. I have a background where my father was a traditional business owner. He made a lot of money, but he also had a lot of stress, and he was also a slave to the business. He had really little time for the family. He made a lot of money, but in exchange of his life and his time, I went the academic way. And I've used all these degrees, academic degrees. I have an engineering degree, I have an MBA, I have a specialization in international business. I have degrees in mathematics, in chemistry, and I don't share this to brag how smart I am, because as you get to know me, you realize that I'm not. I share this with you because I felt that if I had all these academic degrees, I would have an incredible life. And all education is good. We should always say, search for education and knowledge. What happened to me was that after 15 15 years of building and raising, climbing the corporate ladder, I found myself lonely in a hotel in Bolivia, and I drank contaminated water, and I was dying. The doctors approached me at night. I was at a good level hotel that had a doctor in the premises, and he said that if they had not had the doctor in the premises, I would have died. That night, I kneeled down, I turned my life to Christ, and I asked Him to give me the opportunity to become the soccer coach for my kids. Now, understand, I had no clue that ACN existed. In fact, I had to wait 3 years for someone to call me and tell me that there was a company expanding and that there was an opportunity to create some residual income and explain to me the opportunity. I had no experience in network marketing. I had never heard of network marketing. I had no clue what network marketing was. But here's what I heard. I heard that there was a company that had a background and provided all the operational support, and that they were we basically paid income from acquiring customers. And to acquire the customers, you didn't have to do it alone. You could build a team. And I thought that was the smartest concept on the planet Earth. Since I had no preconceived idea, it just made complete sense. Ultimately, what I heard was that I could replace my income in a few hours a week following a system that was already in place to acquire customers and build a team, and that I could replace my income and give me my freedom so that I could become the soccer coach of my kids. Long story short, 30 months later, I was able to leave my job. I was able to become the full-time, soccer coach for my kids. I opened up 10 hours of my day. I freed myself up from traffic. I fired my boss. I never again have looked back in the last 10 years. I have been home building the business around being the soccer coach and the track coach and the cross-country coach for my kids. When they win games, that's because they have very good coaching. When they lose, they need to work harder. Bottom line is, I've been working with ACN for a decade now, and I built my RVP in the U.S., and I have been waiting for a decade for Mexico to open up. And when the co-founders approached me to help them out to open up Mexico, well, my excitement could not be contained. But the timing was such that there was no opportunity in services yet, so we opened up Mexico with products. And we have a fantastic nutritional line, an image line, a beauty line in Mexico that has allowed me and many others to be able to benefit from the initial launch of Mexico. And recently, the company was able to strike a history-making deal in the industry of telecommunications, never before seen in Mexico. And that opened up the door to what will be, in my opinion, the biggest country launch in ACN's history, and it will become over time a bonanza for those people that are prepared for the opportunity. What does that mean? Well, it means that ACN in Mexico will be doing a massive enhancement to the compensation plan, and it's going to be launching its first service of what will be in the plan many other services. And it just reminds me of ACN way back then when Mr. Byron Nelson and many others were in the business. When I joined, a few years later, we were only a long-distance company and offering local long-distance service. And I remember the leaders talking about cell phones will come in one day, and TV and cable, and one day gas and electricity, God forbid. And all of these things are reality today. Well, Mexico is day one, but here's what is incredibly unique about today. ACN is already the world's largest direct seller of telecommunications and essential services for the home and business. ACN is already the Apple, the Microsoft of the industry. And it is opening up a brand new industry that has never been touched in Mexico, which is the services industry in direct marketing. So when you combine the number one company on the planet Earth in direct selling in services with a brand new industry that nobody competes in direct selling in Mexico or Latin America, and you have a proven system of success, well, you can only only imagine what's going to happen to those people that build Spanish-speaking teams. Now, don't lose sight of the fact that cellular service is just the beginning, and that alone is probably going to make of ACN a $100 to $300 million company. So what does that mean? It means that we will be promoting massive amounts of regional vice presidents, dozens of senior vice presidents over the next probably 24, 36 months in Mexico. And that also means that as you build teams in the Spanish-speaking world, that will lead you to other countries that will be opening up in the future, all of Central America and all of South America. It also means that if you have a team of Spanish-speaking reps that can again have these relationships built up across the U.S., Mexico, and other countries, what will happen as if you have, say, 500 people in your team in these countries, and all of a sudden ACL launches a new service? Well, Mr. Byron Nelson is a perfect example of the benefits of foresight, of the benefits of vision, of the benefits of working hard now while the reward is small, because most people, listen to me, most people that really make it big in ACN, in network marketing, and in life are those that work on vision before it's reality, and those people that are willing to pay the price now will reap humongous benefits tomorrow, because it is the beginning of what will be stadiums, what will be literally tens of thousands of Spanish-speaking IBOs that will come into organizations of those people that today have contacts in the Spanish-speaking world. And this is no secret, this is no magic, this is basically learning the basic skills of inviting, presenting, following up, and the basic skills that are really part of what we do day in and day out, which, by the way, most people never learn to master. And mastery is the key to becoming successful. So you have an opportunity today to basically start contacting all of you Spanish people, and let them know the following. Here's the script, and here's the script that I'll give you that I personally use, and that has allowed me to bring on board thousands of people in the Spanish-speaking world. And I'm going to give it to you tonight in English, but I also have this translated into Spanish. In fact, I'll do it in both languages for your benefit. So the script I use, which is very, very powerful, is the following. You make your list of contacts. Ask everyone in your organization, hey, who do you know that speaks Spanish? Who do you know that speaks Spanish? Don't worry about right now the nationality. If they're Peruvian or Guatemalan or Salvadorian or whatever, they all have contacts in the Mexican community. Trust me. Okay? So what happens is just ask, who do you know in the Spanish speaking? They're going to ask you, why do you ask? And here's the script. Hey, listen, ACN, the world's largest direct seller of telecommunications and essential services, is launching Mexico. And for the right people, there is an opportunity to make some significant residual income as they open up Mexico. Who do you know that is a good time right now to talk, so that we can talk and see if they can help us? See, one of the keys of success is posture. So notice that on my script, and I use this script in Spanish, so in English it sounds good, but in Spanish it sounds absolutely magnificent. So here's what I did there. Number one is, you need to posture and let them know that for the right people, they need to see the value so that they can sit down for 20 minutes and you have an opportunity to explain the business plan. So in Spanish, here's the script. Estamos armando el equipo para la empresa número 1 del mundo en venta directa de telecomunicaciones y servicios esenciales. Para las personas correctas hay oportunidad de generar ingresos residuales, y quería preguntarte si conoces a alguien que sea buen momento para hablar de negocios, para ver si nos pueden ayudar a desarrollar México. If you use that language, if you literally just memorize that script, you will have results that we've already can tell you. We already what the answer is to that script. They're always going to ask you, what is it about? Tell me more. At that point, you need to let them know that you need about 20 minutes to sit down with them so that what four things who ACN is. We're going to be launching with cell phones at the beginning of other services, and you're going to explain to them that yes, ACN will be paying, residuals. They will be paying bonuses. The details will come out later, but who cares? There's millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in residuals, in income that will be generated and revenues that will create residuals. That's all they need to know, that ACN will pay residuals. And finally, tell them what they need to do today. They need to network into the Spanish-speaking world. They need to tell them that ACN, the number one company, is putting together the team to launch Mexico. And for the right people, for the right individuals, there's an opportunity to build significant residual income as we open up the countries, as we open up the Spanish-speaking world. So I want to let you know, and finish up with this talk. Very few times in history do you find yourself at the beginning of a country opening with the backup and the support of the number one company in the world in its industry. And even more unique than that, very few times in a lifetime do you find yourself at the beginning of an entire industry that had never been open to network marketing opening up at the exact same time. These combinations of facts, a solid company, number one, with at the beginning of it all, in an industry that has never been successfully opened, basically what it does is it is the perfect storm. And I am telling you that those people that use that script that I just gave you and that network into the U.S. Spanish-speaking world, what happens is that over the next few weeks, ACN will start disclosing the details of the launch. We have already been told that there will be a period of recruiting where people are going to be able to basically sign up people without the services, and then over a period of a few weeks, they're going to be able to build teams in Mexico. But the opportunity to build teams in Mexico is available today if you can understand that we can also benefit from an incredible nutritional product line, and that team will leverage you into the services. So for those of you that are, in my opinion, wise in business, it makes a lot of sense to get excited about the nutritional line as well as painting the vision for the amazing opportunity with the opening up of services, because you can tap into industries that are growing massively. Ultimately, here's what I know. As much success as ACN has had today, as many promotions as you witnessed in San Jose and have witnessed over the years, as much success and incredible stories have surfaced as we launch Korea and Europe and Canada and the United States, we're now launching also Japan. Here's what I believe in my heart. Mexico and Latin America will double ACN in size. It will be a $1 billion segment of ACN. What does that mean? It means that we will promote and we will have people with stories bigger and greater than the stories of the Patrick Mazurs, of the Dowd, of the Mr. Adlams, of the Mr. Byron Nelsons, of the biggest money earners that you know today will be literally double in the marketplace of the Spanish-speaking world for ACN, because ACN right now is approaching $1 billion. If we double that in the Spanish-speaking world and you are positioned, I mean, how would it change your life to have a grain of sand of that ocean? And all you need to do is understand that ACN has an open heart policy. It has an open mind policy. What does that mean? We share. There's enough for everyone. I only know ACN, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know any other network marketing company. I don't know how they do things anywhere else. But the only school I know, the only school I know is the school of the Mr. Byron Nelsons, of the Mr. Greg Provenzanos, of the Mr. Jeff Webers, of the Mr. All of these incredible leaders, Alta Jays, Mr. Adlams, and all these people that are the only school I know. And that means that we are always welcoming anyone to our meetings. We welcome anyone to learn our scripts. We welcome anyone to learn our opportunity to make an impact in literally tens of thousands of families in Mexico. My heart is with Latinos. My heart it is with the vision of flowing thousands upon thousands of dollars for residual income into the community that get the customers. And I believe that because ACN has got its heart in the right place, they see the vision, they're willing to support it, and I can see long term how we could build a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. ACN is in Mexico to stay. ACN is in Mexico to stand. ACN is in Mexico to make a difference. And I can only tell you that if the U.S. history it gives you a little picture of what will happen in Mexico, if San Jose gives you a little picture of what's about to come for those of you that have networks into the Spanish-speaking world, well, my friends, you literally have to get into your teams and tell them to plug into the Spanish calls that we have on Friday nights, to plug into the leadership calls that we have on Sunday nights, all in Spanish. We have a website in Spanish. It's called tuvidaincreíble.com. ACN is doing its best work in trying to build the back office into Spanish. You have everything in place for you to win big. All you need is a few contacts in the Spanish-speaking world, plug them into the system that we're building for support, and ride the wave, work hard, do everything you can to support your teams. So I leave you with this. Mr. Larry Raskin, everybody here, he needs no introduction, and he's going to be in Cerritos tomorrow, and he's going to be in San Diego on Thursday. But I'll talk only about tomorrow at the event in Cerritos because you have an opportunity to listen to a living legend. Mr. Larry Raskin has built a team that I understand over 95% of all of Europe is basically comes from the efforts and the network that Mr. Larry Raskin initially built into Europe. Now, I'm excited because if Mr. Larry Raskin overrides 95% of Europe, because he was at the beginning and he worked hard, he sacrificed, he did everything we are doing so that we can also position ourselves for the launch of Mexico. He's already done it. He's been there, done that. He's seen the movie. He knows the outcome, and he's gonna be in Cerritos tomorrow. I can only imagine people from traveling from Riverside and all of the LA County just so that they can get into that room and get a glimpse of what is about to happen in Mexico. Mr. Larry Raskin has been assigned as VP of Global Leadership, and he's got the vision of what's going to happen in Mexico, what's going to happen as we continue to expand. And he also has the experience and the leadership so that everybody can really get a hold of what's about to happen and have a clear idea. So tomorrow in Cerritos, I don't care if you have to leave work early, I don't care if you have to travel, I don't care what you have to do. If you understand that ACN Mexico Latin America represents $1 billion of revenues that's up for grabs to anyone that goes into the Spanish-speaking world, well, how could you possibly, be busy or not have time for tomorrow night in Cerritos, California, and for Thursday in San Diego, California? I don't know. Unless you tell me. Bottom line is we're going to be doing events, over the next few months. But tomorrow is the beginning of it all in Cerritos with Mr. Larry Raskin, with Mr. Byron Nelson. I am sure you'll see other SVPs and other RVPs plugging in. And all you really have to do is just learn, just support, and do your part to build into the Spanish-speaking world. So I want to tell you, and I want to leave you with a phrase that is now making us famous in ACN Latino across the U.S. Many of you have heard it, but today I want to close my portion of And I can't wait to have you guys in Cerrito with Mr. Mr. Larry Raskin. That's going to be history in the making tomorrow. So if there's anything else I can share, please let me know.
Yes, could you just text me that number and dial in for the call on Friday and for Sunday and the website so I can post it so everyone on the call can have access to that?
You bet. I will absolutely share that with everyone through you so that everybody can plug in.
Outstanding. I love you and appreciate you so much. I know if I open up the call, there's over 100 plus people on the call, and that's with it being a meeting night all around the country in North America. I love you. I know you got to get to your meeting. I'm just going to keep it for 3 more minutes, and I cannot share enough appreciation for you. I love you. Thank you.
We're going to travel Latin America together. God bless you guys, and make it happen for your families. Good night.
I'm not going to keep you guys on the call much longer, but I want you to understand something and why this call is so critical. Very few people, I've been doing this business, for those listening for the first time and those that have been around for a while, coming off of a national convention. For those that are new, we just came from tens of thousands of people this past weekend of being able to truly be trained and celebrate the recognition of all that has taken place in this company for over 2 decades. And I can honestly tell you, I've had this conversation. I had it with one of my projects this afternoon. I had 2 or 3 conversations last night. I've had them every hour on the hour since this weekend and throughout the weekend with several SVPs and Circle of Champions. And for those that don't know what that is, that's a position that generates you 7 figures or more per year. Now, in that, I have generated millions out of the opportunity. I was able to retire under the age of 30. It's been blessed to know that you can offer 1, 2, 3 products or services that people already have to use and get paid residual income. That means that you're able to work in 2016, 17, and 18, quit, walk away, add up that 3 years of income, and it's paid to you whether you get out of bed or not. Now, let me tell you this in this last 2 minutes. I have been a part of the Poland launch in Poland. I was a part of the Korea launch, meaning I override all of Korea. I was part of the Australian and New Zealand launch, meaning I override a significant, if not all of that marketplace. I share with only one other leader. And so what I can tell you is Australia does not even have the population of Southern California. And when Australia opened up, because this call is going to go viral and it's being recorded, I can't get into figures and numbers. But I can tell you I made more in my first week, in my second week. When they launched Australia, the check that I received in the first week that they launched Australia was more money than 80% of the U.S. population for their income for 1 week's worth of work. That check continued to come additionally in and on top of what I was already earning for a continued 3+ months. And I had nothing to do with it except for build a team to take advantage of business. In this call, we can't get into all the details. Our only job is to get your full undivided attention. What is going to happen in Mexico and what is going to happen in South America, but more specifically over the next 6 months, and I'm not standing here by my. Let me put it like this. Today I've made 7 calls to find the right mentor, and I've never done this in 20 years. We're in 24 countries. I made 7 phone calls to 7 different teachers to teach me how to speak Spanish fluently. I am so committed to understanding. Here's what I want you. I want to paint a bit different picture so you understand. I just want to learn Spanish and take advantage of Mexico. If somebody says that I'm going to pay you $500,000 a year on a part-time basis, and you can create your own hours, I'm going to pay you $500,000 minimum per year. And the only thing you have to do is learn the language and be able to talk to people to help them save money on bills they already have. How quickly would you learn a new language? You don't even have to like the language. How quickly? That is your only. You right now look at your income and someone says, I'm going to give you a raise of an extra $500,000 a year, hypothetically, to learn the language so you can actually be the translator and the conduit to share what's going to happen with Apple as we open up Apple in Mexico, as we open up Microsoft in Mexico. As we launch Facebook in Mexico, we just need somebody. We don't need you to help move it. It's going to move without you. It's already viral. You already see what it's done. You already see what every Apple product has done. But if we have somebody who we can count on and trust to understand the business and the services that we have to offer, you by default are going to be positioned for millions of dollars over the next coming years. And not theoretically into the future, but over the next 3 to 6 months. I have never been so excited in my life about a country opening up. And I'm excited about Japan, I'm excited about the Philippines, but there's nothing that excites me like what I know is going to financially set our families up and legacy and generational wealth like what is going to happen in Mexico. If you don't know Spanish or know anybody that's of Latino descent, I strongly suggest you go find some. They are truly, for every state in the United States, there are 3 Latinos to every American that speak Spanish. They are controlling the vote for everything that's about to happen for the presidency coming up this year for a new president in the United States. They control all consumer products and services by 5 in every category of business. So if you have any business appetite, how could you overlook this conversation in any way? You could be at ground zero and be bagging bags at Ralph's grocery store. You could be serving dinner as a waiter at a restaurant. You could actually be, someone who never had an opportunity in your life. Or you could be somebody who has, like Lobato, myself, and many people around me, many degrees and had success and own many businesses. Then you should get this right off the rip. This levels the playing field and is a modern-day gold rush with the greatest shift you will ever know in your lifetime of being able to capitalize on an IPO of this company that's going to become a $3 billion company in less than 24 months and go public where you can take advantage of the stock options and get paid residual income at the same time. That being said, all I can tell you is we poured our soul into this, and if you are serious, and especially if you're in Los Angeles, you need to find your way. You need to find 3, 4, 5 people and drag them to Cerritos tomorrow. You got 24 hours. But San Diego, we're all over the country. Las Vegas, all the way to New York, Chicago. This call has everything from Northern California, Southern California, Atlanta, New York. I'm looking at Philadelphia. It's got every state on this call. There's over hundreds of people on this call. It's going to turn into hundreds of thousands that you're going to override. My business currently grows by an extra 3,000 customers every 24 hours without me. It took me 20 years to do that. It's going to take me 3 to 4 years to do that just in Mexico alone. It has nothing to do with you or I. It has to do with the documentation and mechanisms that are already in place. So I want to thank you guys for your time. I want your feedback. I am doing 7 figures before 7 a.m. on the same number tomorrow at 6 a.m. for those that are plugging into that. But I want to thank everybody else that did. Please hit me on my Facebook, my inbox, text me, email, and give me your feedback on this call. This call has been recorded, and I approve this message. I will post a recorded call on all the same mediums you actually received the message in the first place. I love you, God bless, and I'll see you on the beaches of the world. I do approve this message.
Goodbye.
Oye, Pedro, ¿tú has visto a José?
¿José? ¿No? ¿Por qué?
Mira, cuando te pongas negro prieto lo voy a encender, ¿oíste?